Hello Geeks and Gamers, Matt Lemke here with 2Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com, and today we have another figure forge for you. This one is on the RPG Tactics miniatures game from Palladium Books, and today we're going to do the Regult Tactical Battlepod. But first, this video is dedicated to Hugh Brown for his support in my Kickstarter last year. He helped me go to Gen Con and bring you guys great coverage of the show. I'm looking to do the same thing again this year. Well, actually, I'm looking to do the whole thing to cover the whole year this year. I've got a lot of great things planned. Please check out the Kickstarter. There was just a link up. Here's another link right here, or right here, somewhere around here. And there'll be another link at the end of the show. So thanks for watching. I'm going to do that right now. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do this. This is probably one of the easier models of this set to assemble. And we're going to start by gluing the, what I consider probably the most complicated piece together after we slide the parts off to the sides. This piece right here is actually shaped. I'm going to use my handy dandy dental pick here to show you that it is an oval, and then right here it is open on the bottom. So take a small amount of glue, put it in there like that. And that is the base for the legs. Making sure that this piece is lined up is the most important part, like I had mentioned. I am going to clamp this piece, I hope. No. Open up my clamps here like this. I'm going to set that aside and let it dry. Then I'm going to put together this part of the body here like this. It only goes together one way because the parts will see, there you go, that goes in there like that. I'm going to take a knife, well, I'll use the pick here. Scrape that off a little bit more. Don't stab yourself. And I'm going to take a look at it real quick. I don't think I need to worry about anything. Oops, that's upside down. That I need to worry about. Check this out, see how this fits in here first. Huh. It looks like there should be a little bit of a gap there. So I'm going to file it a little bit. Just a little. Take my knife. Come back down here like this again. That fits a little bit better. That's tighter all the way around. And this piece, these antennae, will actually go in there the way they're supposed to. It looked like it was fitting better this way, just so you know. I don't have a picture of it from the top, but if you put it that way, that doesn't line up for the sides. So you clearly want to do this, and just grab a triangle file or a round file, file that out a little bit, and you'll be fine. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue in this corner here, and in that corner. Not a lot. For those of you that are watching this, it's before Adepticon. The Robotech Tactics guys are going to be at Adepticon this year, demoing the game. Palladium Books will be there. Those are the RPG Tactics guys, just in case you didn't know that. And I'm going to set that aside and let it dry. I'm going to grab the legs. Now, I have come to the conclusion, again, you can't really tell from a lot of the pictures unless you surf the internet. I'm going to zoom in for this. I'm going to come to the conclusion that the wider part is to the front and not to the back, because that just doesn't look right to me. That looks like you get support. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue on here. Let it run down the leg a little, the peg, not the leg. And I'm going to just let it stand. Because if you lay it down, they're going to slide all over the place. Now you can always glue the legs onto the body first if you want to give it some motion, range. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other leg. I mean, you can even move the feet around a little bit if you want to do some weird things with it. This time I'm going to see if it glues better if you put the glue in the peg, in the peg hole. Doesn't seem to matter. Going to set that aside. Let it dry. Again, I clamped these models as well, these parts. Bring that back on. Now, this part will go up into the mainstay of the body underneath here, like that. Now you see that there's a... I'm so zoomed in that gap looks really, really wide. That's not even as wide as a fingernail. So it might look like that's bad, but it's not really. Not quite dry yet, so I'm going to let that go. I am going to go ahead and put this in here on the top. See if there's a better way. It actually does have a way that it fits better. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that in there. And while that's drying, I'm going to carefully put a drop of glue in each of these eye sockets. Well, they're not really eye sockets, but you get the idea. That was a lot of glue, so I'm going to come in and clean them out a little bit. Come on, where'd it go? Put these two weapons in. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to put the other two weapons in. I'm going to try and do something I don't normally do, and I'm going to try and use tweezers. It's a skill that I would like to develop. Do I want to aim in the same way? I think so. There. Now, these pieces here, go on the model like that. So, here on the side, it's going to go down there like that. And again, that's not very wide. That piece is actually about as wide as my fingernail. I'm going to go ahead and put some glue in here like this. Now, I suppose there's not really a rule for how your thrusters go. These thrusters probably move around and show you the direction. So if you want to turn them like that, I suppose you could. There's no right or wrong to it. And I'm going to do the other side. Where did I put them? And I'm going to set that aside, let it dry a little bit. I'm going to grab the legs. They're not close to dry yet, but that is life for the life of Figure Forge. The one that is closest to being dry will be the one that I actually do this with. And that is... No, I'm not doing that yet. I want to make sure that this goes in here, and then I get to play with it. Because what's the point of having models if you don't get to play with them, right? Well, I actually think it kind of works better that way. That's because that's the way it goes. The smooth side goes to the front. I was going to put it in this way, like that, and that is apparently the wrong way. I cheated. I don't normally look at instructions. I put together the way it fits, and that is the better way. So now I'm going to go ahead and put a drop of glue there. I would suggest actually that this is a part that you pin. And here's the terrible part. We're 15 minutes in, we've got legs to put on, and we're waiting to dry the model. We're waiting for the model to dry, not to dry the model. could spray it with Zip Kicker, which I might do. I hate spraying with Zip Kicker because then you gotta wash the model before you paint it. But if I don't spray it with Zip Kicker, we'll be here for another 20 minutes. And the question is, what do I want to do with him? Do I want him to be generically straight? Like this? Do I want him to be walking? Do I want him to be forward? I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue in here. Take some of that glue out of there. I'm going to kind of make them really running. And on one of the next ones, I'll make them like jumping through the air. I always liked these guys as a kid. I kind of referred to them as grasshoppers. Of course, like every early teenage boy, your favorites were probably the Robotech fighters. So I can either have him like that, like this, with one foot down, or I can have him up more on them all, giving him some life like that. Or I can have him kind of come into a stop while he's firing. And now that that's dry a little bit, I'm going to sneak in here with my nipper. And the file. File that piece off a little bit. It's been bothering me. And there you have it. In 18 minutes, a Regult Tactical Battlepod that's almost dry. I think he'll be running away. He'll be the coward. He'll be my fleeing, part of my fleeing army. Or I'll have him like that. I'll decide later. Maybe I'll magnetize him so I can do both. But in either case, thanks for watching. This has been another Figure Forge with Matt Lemke from Through Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave comments, share these videos. I'm hoping that this year is a big year for Through Gamer Goggles. Check out our Kickstarter. If all things go well, we'll have a Robotech week, which who knows what that will involve. Thanks for watching and have a good day.